think there's only one thing left to do. Let's go ahead, toss it up to our casters, Leafex, and the beard himself, Findable Carpet.
That's a magnificent beard right there, you got it.
Yeah, I do what I can.
But man, my heart has not even stopped from that last match, and now we gotta go into this.
I mean, this is a matchup I was actually really hoping to see, especially at a LAN event. What I think is a really cool storyline that I don't know if anyone's brought up. For those who don't know, there's like a prequel-ish kind of to this game, and we refer to people that played that as veterans. These are the only two teams at this event that have 0 veterans on their team.
And they're on the winner's side still, and they're pushing forward looking like favored as well.
Yeah, not only the winners. Yeah, they've been like on the top of the predictions generally. So, to see these guys come from a game to not have the previous history and to kind of just come brand new, in comparison to some of the players and just take off so well and close that gap of skill, it's just such an impressive feat to see.
It's super awesome, and I mean, you have these Sark vets that come in with the mechanical skill already, but you have new, fresh minds coming to this, especially look how young some of these guys are. Fresh minds coming in super creative, and I think that's why we're seeing these teams pull ahead. They come in with no preconceptions of what they have to do in this game, and just do what they got to do to win, and they're showing it right now with Northern Gaming versus Exodus. This is going to be unreal, just as hype as the last one. I couldn't do predictions either. I think Game 5 one more time, straight up where it's going. I know you're not doing that.
There's a reason I've been avoiding it. It's just so great to watch. But from what I've seen, when I watch both the teams, they have relatively similar-ish playstyles. They're usually really spread out. They have really hard passes, really nice redirect shots, passes from the corner. They can shoot from wherever. And I want to see that clash head-to-head. I don't think I've really gotten to see it yet, especially in a LAN, style event with the no ping. So that's
the best part too. But I think these players are about to get ready. We're about to get down into this match. We have Northern Gaming versus Exodus on the winner's side still. We're gonna see who's gonna pull ahead. This is gonna be insane. I've seen this love for both teams. Who's gonna pull out ahead? Is that crazy rotational play gonna come out from Northern Gaming and win them this, or is Exodus and their young drive gonna push them forward? The young guy this way. Let's see, coming down in again. Usually you have teams feeling each other out at the beginning, but I feel we're gonna get off to a very, very quick start. Both these teams have already played today, and they're warmed up, ready to go. They're hyped, and they felt the energy from everybody today. Breezy, good pinch forward to start his team on the attack. So he almost got stuck on defense and almost pushing through. Turtle gets him out of there. Just get out of here. As Northern Gaming trying to keep the offense on, but they lose control of that one. But Moses doesn't get the touch he wants. Garrett just tries to keep that in the end of Northern Gaming, and he goes for a bump instead, but Maestro does get back to midfield, but Turtle with the pressure on off the backboard, trying some of those Northern Gaming tactics with a shot on an open net. Bad boost grab from Garrett.
This touch from Remco coming off the backboard is actually something I really want to harp on. Look at the angle he gets, perfectly passing it out for Maestro. And like I said, these guys are always cheating up, getting ready for that passing play. Maestro just waiting, willing, and ready. Sadly, no one was able to rotate back quick enough for Exodus.
Here we go, first goal in under a minute. As I said, they're gonna start off fast. We'll see if that can get answered quickly. If they can do that, but Greasy looking for another one. Exodus trying to break out to get that tying goal. Moses getting the boost, and then Garrett with the push forward. All three of them trying to push up, but Garrett misreads that touch from Remco. Moses drops to Turtle. Turtle does get the push, but Greasy once again with a good read. Northern Gaming ahead of their opponents, and a touch from Maestro slowly rolls that one towards the net, almost dropping in. Moses carrying that one to the corner, but Turtle with a nice clear. That's what they needed, but Greasy so quick to the air as they try to push that back on the attack. Garrett, very good patience. Turtle with the support. No one there to push it in, but Moses to the far side. Just misses it on that. Greasy probably had the save as well. Rolling back down into the Exodus end as Garrett tries to get a clear to start another one.
Both teams making fantastic opportunities on each other's sides, getting those passing plays, trying to misdirect that goalie and pull him out of net. We see again.
Oh, there it is. Maestro with another one, flying in.
The corner angles are something we see out of these teams so well. Turtle tries to touch it, just keep it down. He actually has a pretty good touch, just kind of killing it, but he didn't push it to the corner enough, and Maestro, seeing the angle, just slams it into net.
2-0 lead, but only a minute 30 in him. Lots of time for Exodus to pull this one back. They know what they're doing. They know they can do it. Maestro setting that one up there for Remco. Almost a good passing play there, but Garrett with the save and the demo gonna leave them a chance to score. The pass to Garrett from Turtle, just a little bit too high. Almost putting one on the scoreboard. Moses just trying to keep control of that away from Maestro. Doesn't, but Garrett does instead. Off the wall, Greasy, good touch to the far side. Remco's gonna pick this one up as Garrett left to rotate back. Moses under that. Turtle Throws it to the side. He sees a teammate that can roll it up the wall. Greasy waiting patiently, knowing a touch is going to come out, and he does read that properly off the backboard. Out to Remco, and that's going to drop in 3 goals now for Northern Gaming.
Pretty hefty lead, but we see a good pass. Patience on the wall from Greasy, getting up underneath it, tapping it off the back wall. Exodus wasn't able to rotate back quick enough, which is a pretty big mistake. It's really tough sometimes, though. Northern Gaming, we know, they are one of the fastest teams. They know it, too, and they're going to take advantage.
As we said, 3-0, approaching that halfway mark. Exodus going to have to do something if they want to pull this one back, as Northern Gaming looking very strong at the moment, communicating very well with each other. Pressure on from Remco, keeps that at least at midfield, and a follow-up from Maestro, very fast with the ball, as we know them to be. Maestro doesn't get the roll-up he wanted, so Garrett's going to pass to Moses. Moses back out, though. Greasy takes that one. Turtle recognizing this. Moses trying to get that 50-50 in front of the net, scary spot. Garrett and Turtle now ready to move up on the attack. We'll see if they get an actual play started up. They haven't really been getting any opportunities yet, as all these balls getting contested by Northern Gaming so quickly.
You can see what I mean by speed. Every time honestly, for both these teams, they excel at it. Whenever they touch a ball down the field, they have it with a purpose. They're doing it towards a teammate. They know someone's going to be there to support it, and there's always at least 2 touches to get it in any position, which just makes it so hard to counter. But you see both these teams doing it against each other, and that's why you see the ball just flopping from side to side generally.
Garrett now with a chance to get a good clear on this one. Pass up to Turtle, but Turtle gets beaten up by Remco. The boost grab at least, and there's a shot just getting pushed to the side, almost dropping in. Minute 40 left, 30 goals. That's a lot of goals. 3 goals. 3 goals for Exodus to put in. They can still do this, and there's one going to the far side, almost dropping in just off the corner. What a precision shot, but it wasn't precise enough off the backboard. Garrett there for the drop down. Almost, they are putting the pressure on now. They are showing they want this, but they're going to have to backtrack for a minute as that ball goes towards the net, and Remco, another one, 4-0 for Northern Gaming.
Remco stretching the lead. He sees all 3 Exodus players in the corner, but in a situation like this, when you're down by 3 goals with a minute 20 left, you don't have many opportunities. You're going to have to overcommit. You need to make the goals. You don't have a whole lot of time, so it's one of those toss-ups. It's like, yeah, we might leave our net open, but if we don't score now, we're going to lose either way.
With approaching a minute, 4 goals is going to be very hard, especially way they're playing right now. Northern Gaming is playing with another one almost coming up from Greasy. I'm wondering if it's even possible now for Exodus to come back, if they're going to be looking at the next game. They're going to keep trying, though. As we said, momentum can play good. Moses puts one in for his team.
These quick passing plays. Turtle pops up underneath this ball and gets it. Look, he actually was going to take a shot, realized he shouldn't. Someone could have been in the way, so instead he pops it off the back wall, but Moses sees his change in plan, notices it's not going to go on net, going to go off the backboard, comes in and just sinks that ball in.
3 goals is looking a lot better, but still a very difficult task for Exodus as Maestro tries to put another one in, and he does, answering very quickly that last one from Exodus.
Remember how we talked about them being just insanely fast with the ball? This is a perfect example. Look at how fast Maestro gets up for this. Reads it so well. Turtle actually got up pretty quick for that, but just not as fast as Maestro. Wasn't able to beat it. And right off a kickoff, you never know who can get up for what, because people are trying to retrieve boost. You don't start off with full boost off kickoff, so you never know who can actually reach the ball.
And we're back down to a 4-goal differential, up to a 4-goal differential in favor of Northern Gaming, as Exodus is having trouble getting goals and not letting them be answered. Turtle out to get a shot himself, but he misses. Remco going to be able to put that back to midfield as Maestro picks it up, and the boost, but Garrett sending that right back down into Northern Gaming's end. This goes right back, ping pong playing between these 2 teams as they're all getting up. High flying Rocket League right now as they all contest these aerials. That's going to roll slowly towards the net, but Remco, nice as he touches the side. Garrett to put it in, though. What a touch from Garrett.
Getting the angle. We actually saw a pretty decent touch here from Remco. He was in a bad angle, but he managed to pop it high. Hopefully Maestro was able to come for it, but he wasn't. Garrett gets up, rotates his card, gets the angle, and still puts it to the top crossbar.
3 goals in 30 seconds, 10 seconds. That's all right. I mean, but you're against Northern Gaming. This is not going to be easy. But we'll see if they can do it. They are trying certainly hard, as long as they don't let that get answered quickly. Northern Gaming trying to let any goal go unanswered. The passing play from Exodus almost coming out. Maestro putting that right back down into Exodus's end. As Maestro tries to put another one in, Garrett does keep that out, but with 7 seconds left, 3 goals is looking very grim. This first one ended up going to Northern Gaming.
Northern Gaming came out hard, but as did Exodus. This definitely looks like it could have been, we're like, oh, Exodus didn't really pull their own weight. It's not that at all. Northern Gaming came out incredibly strong. They came out so hard this game. They were there for everything. They were contesting everything. Exodus had a difficult time, but, I mean, you definitely cannot write them off.
No, and it's, I mean, you got to expect this. So you're going up against Northern Gaming, one of the teams that was expected above Flipside even to win the RLCS International Finals. Like, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, and they're going to have to get their heads in that mentality that we still have a long battle ahead of us. They're not going to get complacent. Northern Gaming is not going to be like, what, that was too easy, let's settle down. They're going to keep going in.
Well, they have to. If they don't, Exodus will come right back up and get them. But what was really cool is you saw both teams doing the same style of passing plays. There was someone always kind of cheating up, ready for a touch down the field, even if they were in the wrong half. You know, if you're in your opponent's half, but you're getting ready for your teammate to pass it to you. Give them a target. Give them something to give it to. And then you can redirect into net while the defenders aren't prepared. Both teams do that excessively well. It just like Northern Gaming was a little bit quicker. They were doing it a little more often.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and those passing plays are critical. Just taking shots on net when there's someone in there, you're just going to give away ball possession. You're just giving it away. You got to get those passes. You got to get those passes back and forth to draw out the defense, to get them out of any good defensive structure they have if you're going to want to win this. Now, Exodus going to this. Is that pretty much all they have to do, or is there anything else specific you think?
I mean, it seems like more, I mean, they have purposeful touches. They have been doing well. They're not just clearing the ball for no reason. They're not just getting rid of it. You know, you'll see some teams sometimes will clear it and give up possession. But as long as they're able to just kind of keep what they're doing, keep that passing play, but just, you know, faster. Beating Northern Gaming is going to be a feat. You're going to have to really think about it.
Well, game number 2, Northern Gaming versus Exodus. We have Northern Gaming up 1-0 in this series. This best of 5. We're going to see if Exodus can pull it back and tie up the series. Right now, as they're already putting on some pressure right early on the kickoff. Turtle going to back off, though, in favor of Remco touching that one, but Turtle. Moses pushing up. Turtle, good patience to get this around. He could set up his teammate here. Up to Moses. Greasy playing patient as well, though. Keeps that one from dropping in the slot and allowing a scoring opportunity. Rolling back down to midfield. It is their chance to create an attack as Remco gets the ball read there out to Maestro. The shot on in the first one for Northern Gaming.
Maestro taking opportunity of a ball that ended up being uncontested. These are one of those balls where both Moses and Garrett, I think, expected each other to be there. Garrett could have stopped and turned around. Moses could have come out for net, but neither actually made the dedication. The ball went unanswered. When the ball is in front of your goal, like, you need to be there contested, or any of these top-tier teams are just going to slam it right in by you.
Absolutely correct. Communication is going to be critical. Make sure that you're on that ball quick, especially against Northern Gaming. Good touch from Maestro up. Passing play from them. Greasy tries to set that back to the center. Remco back enough to touch it, but not favorably for them. So they're going to have to try again as they push it back to their own end with the back passes. Almost got a little messy there as Moses moved in, but the demo coming out. Going to give him a little bit of breathing room as Northern Gaming moves back on the attack against Exodus. Turtle stops that. Going to leave it for Moses. He was the wrong direction as Moses does squeeze it past one, but not two. Greasy getting some flips going on, but nothing coming out of that. Garrett does keep possession, but loses it quickly to Maestro. Is that going to roll around? Still only a 1-0 lead, just past the minute mark, as on the attack now is Exodus, but quickly right back into their own end, and that's going to be almost on target, and Maestro going to finish that one off.
Able to follow through, bringing them 2 goals up in this series so far. We get a good clear out, and then Greasy touching it right around the 2 defenders. Easy to look past his touch there towards the middle, but if it wasn't for that, that would not have been anywhere close to an opportunity on net.
These guys are always just putting the ball in a spot that's favorable for their teammates, and that's why they are so good. But Exodus trying to show why they're so good. They're going to get some attacks on right here as Moses and Garrett move up, roll up the wall, see if Greasy can win that one. He does put it, but not far enough. Garrett's going to put that on target, and there it is, off the wall. 1 goal differential now.
Bringing it to a 1-goal game, so close. Greasy tried to clear this out, put it to the corner, but Garrett, seeing that angle, bounced it off the ground over towards Remco, who did his very best to try and cross through the net. But when you're coming across like that with a ball that speed, you're just not going to make it in time.
Now, as I said, only 1 goal to get that tied game. 3:20 left in the match. Heck of a lot of time. See that now as it drops in front of the net. That's going to be a chance for Turtle to drop that down, but Maestro does get up in time to steal that away from him. Garrett, Moses is going to have to do something here to let Turtle rotate back in. But Greasy going to take the shot, just blocked out and hitting the post, almost going in by himself. Maestro going to put another one on as they keep the pressure on. There's Greasy in as the third, and my shot from Maestro going to be on net, and no one there to stop it from Exodus.
Exodus does their 1-2 touches out into net, but if no one's there for him, Turtle tried to push it out to the side, hoping Moses or Garrett was able to follow through, but they actually weren't in a position for that. The bounce not in their favor, and Maestro, seeing the opportunity, takes a shot.
There it is, back up to a 2-goal lead. 3 minutes left, almost an early goal there, but Turtle waits for that one. James Bott would be happy, and a shot from him. The placement from Turtle, bringing that one right back.
This just shows how placement is key. Greasy was actually in net, just waiting for the shot, thinking he had it. But Turtle with his placement and speed, putting it to the top right corner, there's nothing Greasy could do.
Greasy, he got a little bit of hub. He's like, I'm not gonna. That's
he made an effort. He's like, no.
That's a good shot. That's a compliment right there. I'm just not gonna go for it. There's a pinch out though towards off the kickoff. Exodus's end. Garrett gonna send it right up the Turtle, but intercepted by Remco. So they want to quickly answer this. Quite a few answered goals in this game so far, approaching that halfway mark and only 1 goal down. Exodus starting to make some moves, but Greasy getting in the way of that. Northern Gaming still looking very strong. Very quick to the ball. Maestro getting boxed out, allowing Moses to get that back to midfield, but Remco comes from the backside to push it forward. Another touch from him. Tries to get that center, but doesn't quite. But Turtle in a bad spot now. That's going to roll past. Not going to be able to get a shot out of that, but 2 people committed to that. Could be dangerous for Exodus as they try to break out of their own end. Back and forth from corner to corner, but they can't get it to the midfield as Northern Gaming and keeping the pressure on. Finally, Garrett breaks it past that midline. Moses up in the air quick to try to throw that to the center, and that is actually going to roll to center, but no one there in time. Garrett a little too far back to put that in net.
The pressure coming in at both these teams from defense to offense, they both actually excel at making it like so quick. They're also, you see them on defense, they're all chilling in net, just kind of waiting for it to come out, and then just immediate shot on goal, maybe 2 or 3 in a row. But if you see them both trying to pull it off on each other, it's awesome to see the clash.
Moses rolls that one down the corner. Can he get another touch? Greasy, so quick to that ball, gets that. Rolling back to midfield, another touch from him, but good rotations from Exodus as they try to drop this one in. Garrett trying to get that redirect off the sideboard. Pass from Moses, gonna go a little bit too far. Turtle just contesting at least. There's Garrett, the third in, but Maestro just gets to stuff, and that's going to be a potential goal for him if Moses can't get there. He does, just stops that one in time to keep them only 1 goal down, approaching that minute mark. We have very, very strong gameplay coming out of Exodus. They're showing up, but a bad touch there is going to give it to Remco. No, as Moses gives that one away.
Moses put it across the net, which a lot of times isn't a bad idea. I think he thought a goalie might have still been there, pushing out a goalie. Could have followed up and actually beaten Remco to that. But I believe there was a miscommunication. 2 players went up for the previous save prior to that. No one is in net, and it gave an easy shot for Remco.
And at that minute mark, we're now 2 goals down for Exodus. See if they can pull it up. A bump on that. That's not a good spot to be as they're bumping each other out and giving Northern Gaming a shot on net. Greasy just missing the toes on that, but Remco gets it. Another one from Maestro, and that's a slow roller in. Now 3 goals down is Exodus.
The pressure, this pass from Remco, he goes up and gets it just gently off that post, forcing Turtle to go for it. Maestro actually pushed it through Turtle. Turtle wasn't able to get a big enough hit on it because he was coming from the sidewall.
55 seconds left. Can they do it? 3 goals, very possible, but very, very hard. There's a potential passing play from Turtle to Garrett, but Maestro getting in the way of that. Moses up to soft touch that down. No one to follow it up. Garrett, Turtle moving back. Garrett just trying to contest. Turtle back for the shot. He does get in the way as Greasy was ready to take it, but Maestro with another one. Moses ready in case it got past Turtle. Turtle moving up, anticipating a pass from Garrett, but Garrett could not get control of that ball as we see Northern Gaming circling, ready to make an attack, trying to get that ball out into the center. 30 seconds left for Exodus to come back. This is going to be a bad spot as Maestro gets past 1, but not 2. Garrett off the corner, but no follow-up, and Greasy going to be able to take a shot there, and this game is looking over in favor of Northern Gaming.
If they could honestly make this comeback, I would leave. I would just
get out of here.
But either way, this, we saw Northern Gaming kind of pull away. They're now 4 points up. Exodus, what it seems to be is a few panic moments on defense. We'll see 2 people go over the same ball, or maybe someone leave the net a little early, getting a little antsy. They were usually really clinical in their defensive rotations. Right now, I think maybe just dealing with the utter speed of Northern Gaming has been really tough for them. Maestro able to sink in yet another one.
They're just going for a high score right now. Most goals scored in a game
at
RLCS. But I honestly think that Exodus is looking at the next game. They did get a little bit stronger. They have started to show a bit more momentum. Lost it, of course, near the end here. But I think it's because we're looking at the next one to carry full force to the 3rd one. Otherwise, it is over for them down into the lower bracket. What we're going to see as this ball touches the ground. Northern Gaming taking this 2-0 in the series for Northern Gaming against Exodus.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, when the spread is that big, it's really hard to want to get motivated to try and put a bunch of goals in because it feels almost like a wasted effort. So you want to save that effort. You want to make sure you bring it into the next game. they're going to fight for it. They're going to fight hard. But again, against the speed, it's not that Exodus is particularly playing bad because they got some really good passing plays, some good clears. But against the speed of Northern Gaming, they seem a little bit antsy. They want to bring it from defense to offense a little bit too quickly sometimes. We'll see the guy on net cheat up a little bit too early. And we'll also see sometimes some defensive mishaps where two people are going to go for the same ball. And then the third guy makes a play assuming someone's in net still, and then that's when some open goals we're able to get conceded.
Well, you're absolutely right. And to get a step ahead, you want to be up ahead. You want to receive those passes, get some cherry picking going on. But if your teammates don't have control of that ball, it's not going to go anywhere. And now you have only 2 people on defense to block against 3. That's not a situation you want to be in. So you have to make sure that pass is going to be coming out.
Definitely, and it just shows like how perfect you have to be with this play style. Like to be able to cheat up this much, have a player that's up ready for a pass, that means no one can make mistakes. Because the moment you do, you're gonna have a wide open net, and against any decent team, they're gonna start scoring on you. So it just goes to show the high skill it takes to pull this off like accurately.
Well, especially against Northern Gaming, whose rotation is just so absolutely strong. It's absolutely strong. We're gonna see though down in this next game, who's gonna take it? Is Exodus gonna be able to come back?
Exodus hopefully will be able to. I don't see why they won't. They'll definitely have the skill. It's just a matter of if they're going to be able to execute.
They can do it. Exodus, are they going to be able to pull ahead? Right now, we're going to find out in game number 3. As they're getting some love. Let's see if an early goal can come up from them against Northern Gaming. Greasy though, trying to put one on. There's Remco with the support. The finish. Greasy, so greasy.
He followed through with the shot. The angle he gets on this, first of all, to put it even towards the net. Moses going up for it. He just mispredicts it. Greasy gets the follow through. Turtle not ready. There's really not much you could have done either way to be prepared for that. But Greasy, so greasy.
Well, we're going to see if a quick answer can come out. Again, as Exodus probably talking a lot about this match, what they have to do to get those counterattacks and break out of that strong rotational play style from Northern Gaming. Moses doesn't get the touch he wants to roll that in front, so Turtle's going to wait back. Northern Gaming trying to set something up. Good loose grab from Remco, but he doesn't keep control of that. Greasy's going to have to sit on defense. Wide rotation from Maestro as they push forward. Touch from Remco. Doesn't go to Greasy, but he does set it down for Maestro. It's going to roll in front of the net. Remco's going to try to put that to the short side. Garrett just in time stopping it, but there, almost going in. Remco almost outplaying 2 defenders. Does keep it out.
Almost gets that back touch, but it just shows the tight defensive rotation, how even if one goalie can't make it, there's going to be a second one just prepared.
Remco with the shot, or the pass, up to Maestro. Maestro trying to soft that down to Remco, but doesn't quite get it. Now Turtle Moses moving forward. Only one person to beat. Can they get this one in? Turtle has a chance to get this past one defender. Maestro does stuff him out though. Garrett trying his best to put one on target himself. Turtle keeping that away in just possession. All 3 there though. Maestro's going to break past, and that's going to be a goal for him. As some overcommitments from Exodus leaves that net open.
Bringing them up one more, making it a 2-0 game, but this is what I mean by just a little bit too antsy. We saw 2 players in Exodus going for that ball, giving it an open shot for Maestro Greasy coming in just to make sure. That definitely might not have gone in. It's a good thing Greasy showed up.
It is a good thing he showed up. He had to make sure, just to secure it, but just over a minute of gameplay, only 2 goals down. They can keep their heads in this game. They have a chance. Moses, shot on net. That almost went in as it got past Greasy there. Remco just trying to make sure it doesn't, but they are safe at this point. Northern Gaming trying to push forward. A good spot to do so, but Moses trying to put one on. Greasy going to stay back. Follow up from Garrett. Almost came through, but Turtle just going to keep the pressure on. Now in position, going to leave it up to his 2 teammates to push this one back past the midfield line as they try to get an attack going on, contest that midfield. Leaves that ball in neutral. Turtle going to take advantage of it being in the air, but Greasy puts that in front. That could be an advantage for any of those Exodus guys to get to it, but no one there to contest it. Head back down to midfield. Moses off the wall, off the backboard. Can a follow come through? No, Greasy does keep that away.
Exodus doesn't have the spread positioning we've seen as much. I know they're getting a little closer together just because Northern Gaming is just there to contest so many things. And we see so many plays getting shut down. Exodus is touching off the backboard, but it doesn't matter. Northern Gaming is going to be there to hit it away.
Maestro getting a touch up front. Remco just trying to fix his course there to put that in, but doesn't get what he needed. Moses moving forward. Going to take his time now as he sees Greasy in front, but Greasy took his time too. Remco, the stuffs coming out from Northern Gaming. They're doing so good at making sure they get these reads and these stuffs on any of these attacking Exodus players.
Exodus is just having a little bit of a hard time trying to do what they do best, but it's because Northern is always there for everything. You see another shot coming in at Greasy
to the far side, and that's going to go in. The defender not making it in time.
Another overcommitment from Exodus, but again, it's one of those situations he kind of had to. Turtle wasn't ready for that whip by his teammate. He was trying to follow it up, expecting a teammate to rotate back. Actually, what they were doing was perfect, but it was that slight whiff from a teammate that kind of messed up all the rotations. Greasy, able to secure.
Now 3 goals down with 2 minutes left. It's not looking good for Exodus as they might end up dropping down to the lower. We'll see if they can pull it back. As Northern Gaming trying to get yet another 3-0 in this winner's side. They are just going in today.
They've really been performing at their fullest, it seems. I know Games are talking about they could have performed a little bit better, and I didn't particularly, I mean, he was right, but it seems like they're just, it doesn't matter. I mean, their play style just seems to be dominating. No.
He's a wizard, Harry.
Don't get carried away.
We'll see now. Almost an attack coming out from Exodus, but no finish on it. It's going to allow Northern Gaming to put another one on target. Maestro trying to get in the way of Moses. Greasy with a pop up to Remco. There's a shot potential for Greasy, but Moses does push that past Maestro, the only one back. Can Moses do anything to get a ball to his teammate? But no. Misreads the roll on that wall. It does get it back to Turtle, though, but no one there to follow up from that pass from Turtle. As they're trying to get a play started up, they just can't seem to find each other with these passes, but that's going towards the net, and once again, no one there to finish it off.
So close. Exodus still is able to put the pressure on, and it's tough to really see the point at where their plays really aren't coming together. I think they're getting a little...
Oh, Garrett does find the back of the net finally, and with a minute left, this could be it for them. They could do this stuff.
Oh my, Garrett with the tight rotation, knowing where he needed to be. Maestro tried to predict. There's really not much he can do. Just hopefully fling his body in front of the net. Garrett actually put it kind of close to where Maestro was going to be, but up just a little bit too high, keeping it only a 2-point game with a minute left.
As you said, 2 points with a minute left. We're going to have to see them push really hard on offense, and that might be just exactly what they needed, as they are getting some passes, but no connection with them. Having people committed hard to that might be what they need, but giving up some defensive prowess may open up for some more goals. Garrett trying to drop that one down. Getting some nice touches that he always does, but he couldn't quite finish it off. 40 seconds left for them to get a play started. Someone's going to have to start contesting these balls in the air and not letting the shots go on target. Garrett just keeping it to the side. Golden Turtle and Garrett having to go up, going to put him in a weird spot. The soft touch, and Maestro gets another one, trying to take the dreams away from Exodus.
This is what happens when you just have relentless pressure. Eventually someone's going to come out of net. We see Turtle left alone, but he came just a little bit too far off of the goal line, wasn't able to meet the ball in between the net and the ball, which is generally where you want to save from, but he just wasn't able to get there in time. He had cheated up just a little bit too much.
Moses over to the side, gets the pinch that he wanted. Only one person going to be in net, and that's Maestro. Garrett getting on the wall. Just stop rolling up, and there's a shot just going wide. Turtle trying to put that right back in front. There's going to be a chance that someone can contest this, but no one there. It's going to allow Greasy and Remco to push this right back down into the Exodus end as Maestro tries to get another one out there with 5 seconds left. This is looking to be it. And Northern Gaming going to be taking it 3-0 over Exodus. If this one's going to touch the ground, they're going to try to at least get one more goal. But there it is. There it is. Northern Gaming 3-0 over Exodus.
Northern Gaming playing very well. You can see Greasy very happy with his plays. He definitely has been showing really, really well. I'm sure Exodus, I'm sure doesn't feel too great, but they were going against such a powerhouse. I know they're a fantastic team. They have the skill. We saw what they did earlier today, and I know they can pull through it.
It's tough, and I mean, you can't feel that when you're going up against a team like Northern Gaming, who, again, we're expected to take the whole thing, showing that they're doing a very good job of it. I mean, you can't feel too bad. They played pretty good. They just obviously couldn't adapt enough to get through to it, but they have a lot of time left. All night, they can drop down to a lower bracket. They have a chance to still win this. Exodus is not out yet.
And they're definitely a team that we should keep an eye on for sure, because it might be tough. Looking up against this team like this, it's like, oh no, like they might have struggled, and it's more just that Northern Gaming really played extremely well. Exodus, you saw them make a lot of opportunities, some really good plays that a lot of teams actually wouldn't be able to shut down. So I definitely want to see how that's going to pair out for them in the future.
Cool. We're going to jump down, though, to the stage with Golden Boy to find out what Maestro has on his mind.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Maestro, dominating performance. Congratulations on your victory there, 3-0 over Exodus. A team that looked very, very solid, but Northern Gaming, man, you guys are phenomenal. What is it about this team that it gives you that dominance, that makes you so confident when you hit the pitch?
We all have this similar play style, and we fit good together. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
How does it feel being a European boy band? Because You guys look just dashing. I mean, the skills, the looks, everything. You're the total. Are there any single ladies in the house for this guy here?
Feels good.
Feels good, man. Feels good. No, but seriously though, you guys just bring so much to the table. Do you think that anyone can stand in your way to the top?
I don't hope so. I think we're gonna win.
You're gonna win the whole thing. Any team that you think can give you a challenge?
iBuy Power.
Even with the substitution of Overzero, I mean, we saw what Overzero did, but you still feel confident iBuy Power is that team?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe, we'll see. So nonchalant. You know, he doesn't even have a jersey, for Christ's sake. Anyway, all right, so thank you so much, Maestro. We're going to go ahead and toss it over to the analysts. Give it up for Northern Gaming. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Here back at the desk, of course, Axel, Gibbs, James Spot. Northern Gaming, they're so good.
Yeah, it looks like they warmed up pretty well. And Exodus, ouch.
Mm-hmm. We saw that first series. Exodus really put it to market, taking that 3-0. We thought maybe this would be a series. They had us thinking that it was going to be close, and then Northern comes through and just continues what they've shown online, proving that they're not just an online team, they're also a LAN team, continuing to be undefeated.
Of course, here's your Mobile One high-performance replay.
And then Maestro with that dirty angle. Like, Turtle tried to put that ball as close to the wall as he could, but, like, again, Maestro had 2 hat-tricks in Game 1 and Game 2. His shots were on point all day. But Exodus had a couple there. Like, Turtle had a really nice locational shot there. But, again, like, 7-2 in Game, I believe that was Game 2. It's just hurt.
Exodus scored 5 goals total in this series, and Maestro by himself had 9. So Maestro, the MVP, Greasy picked up a hat trick again. But yeah, the first hat tricks that we've seen in this live event was scored by Maestro.
And then Greasy coming up big in Game 3, and it seemed like just Exodus kind of fell off. Like, sure, when a game gets out of hand, when you're up, or when you're down like 4-0, you have to just aggress. And sometimes the game's turning to blowouts, and that's going to happen. But I was glad to see that Exodus tried to bring a lot of offensive pressure, but they couldn't get anything going, which just shows how good of a defense Northern Gaming was throwing at.
When it comes to like play styles, we saw how the Flying Dutchman's play style really countered the Kings of Urban play style. We saw a lot of overextensions from Kings. Exodus has a very similar play style to Weedham Girls, but Weedham Girls are Northern Gaming, but Northern Gaming just does it better.
And of course, we gotta come together to announce the MVP, guys. Let's give it up for Maestro.
Yeah, with 2 hat tricks, Game 1 and Game 2. He was going off. I was like, how many goals does he have already?
9. It was 9.
It was insane. And Remco, he was a little quiet this series, but that was just because he didn't have to do anything on the defensive side. Maestro and Greasy really handled all the offense for them, and Exodus, again, as you said, only 5 goals. And that has a lot to do with Remco in the back. But all 3 can rotate back there really quickly and break up passes. Like, sometimes you need that solo play to get in there, to get by them, but
they had control the whole series.
Yeah,
it was all Northern Gaming from the get-go. They were never in danger of dropping a game. They just had it from the get-go.
And they look really strong for tomorrow.
They still haven't lost
I know.
Undefeated.
a game. They haven't lost a game yet. And they're going to be advancing, of course, to the next round of the winner bracket. And Exodus will be falling down to the lower bracket, but, you know, they can come back and bring it back. We'll stay tuned to that, of course. But let's talk about the next match. It's going to be the Flying Dutchman versus IBP Cosmic. Now, this is the other semifinal in the winner bracket. So the winner of this next match will be advancing on to play against Northern Gaming. You're watching the RLCS International Final. We're live from Hollywood, California. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.